In 1912, Greenland's ice sank the most advanced ship on Earth. In 2026, the world's most powerful countries are racing to melt that ice as fast as possible. What was once a frozen wasteland has become the world's most contested piece of real estate. In 1946, the United States offered Denmark $100 million in gold for Greenland. At the time, it sounded absurd. A frozen wasteland with almost no roads or cities. Denmark rejected the offer, and for decades, the world mostly ignored Greenland. Until recently. That same frozen island is now believed to sit on one of the largest untapped resource vaults on Earth. Analysts have started calling it something almost unbelievable. The $50 trillion island. And suddenly, everyone wants it. In early 2026, at the January Davos summit, the US president called Greenland a national security priority, even floating tariffs on Danish goods to force access to the island's resources. This wasn't a joke anymore. It had turned into a geopolitical standoff. The real question isn't why countries want Greenland. It's why they suddenly need it. Hidden beneath the ice are three problems the modern world hasn't been able to solve, and Greenland helps solve all three. The first problem is the world's dependence on rare earth metals. Without them, modern technology doesn't function. Electric vehicles need them for motors, wind turbines for magnets, and stealth fighters for precision guidance. Currently, China controls roughly 90% of this supply chain. For years, Western governments searched for a backup outside Beijing's control. And that's when geologists found enormous mineral deposits beneath Greenland's ice, estimated at 36 million tons of resources. One site in southern Greenland, the Tambrise project, is believed to contain one of the largest deposits ever discovered. In March 2026, the project approved $30 million to fast-track drilling. For the first time, the Arctic Vault isn't just theory. The drills are moving. But there's a catch. Most of Greenland's rare earth deposits are mixed with uranium, which Greenland currently bans mining. This wealth is locked behind a legal vault. One side of the government wants to keep the ban to protect the environment. The other wants to lift it to fund independence. This leads to the second global problem: trade. Nearly everything moving between Asia and Europe passes through the Suez Canal. But recent years showed how fragile that route is. During the 2024 and 2025 Red Sea crisis, attacks on cargo ships forced companies to reroute around Africa, adding billions in costs. Shipping companies started looking north. The Arctic is warming 4 times faster than the rest of the planet. As ice shrinks, new routes are appearing. The Northwest Passage, the Northern Sea Route, and eventually the Transpolar Route, which could cut the distance between Asia and Europe by nearly half. Greenland sits directly beside these routes, positioned to become a northern version of Singapore, a global logistics hub and the gateway between the Atlantic and the Arctic. The third problem is nuclear security. The shortest flight path between Russia and North America crosses the Arctic. Any missile launch toward the US would pass near Greenland. And this is why the US operates Pidufik Space Base. In an age of hypersonic weapons, its radar provides the seconds needed to detect and intercept a catastrophe. The Arctic is rapidly becoming a strategic battlefield. So, in January 2026, NATO launched Arctic Sentry exercises, deploying European forces to Greenland. Russia, meanwhile, operates the world's largest fleet of nuclear-powered icebreakers to keep these routes open. But there's another layer to this conflict that's almost invisible. Beneath the Arctic Ocean, a new kind of infrastructure is being built. Data cables linking North America, Europe, and Asia through Greenland. These cables are designed to bypass traditional choke points like the Strait of Malacca, making the Arctic not just a trade shortcut, but a digital one. And in 2026, NATO officials warned that Russian submarines are actively mapping these cables, raising fears that future conflicts won't just target ships, but the internet itself. At the same time, Greenland sits at the edge of the GI-UK gap, the narrow corridor between Greenland, Iceland, and the United Kingdom. Any Russian submarine trying to enter the Atlantic must pass through it, which means controlling Greenland isn't just about resources or trade. It's about controlling the gateway between oceans. And this brings us back to that number, $50 trillion. It isn't cash in the bank. It's the estimated value of the lithium, nickel, graphite, copper, and billions of barrels of oil buried beneath the island, combined with its strategic positioning. But the reality check is harsh. Greenland has almost no infrastructure, temperatures below minus 50 degrees, and a population of only 57,000 people. Building a global mining hub would require importing thousands of workers and constructing cities in one of Earth's harshest environments. And there's one final risk almost nobody talks about. As ice retreats, more ships are entering these waters, including Russia's so-called shadow fleet. If even one of those ships loses power near Greenland, it wouldn't just be an oil spill. It would be an environmental disaster trapped under Arctic ice for decades. Greenland is at a crossroads. It holds the minerals needed for the green energy transition, but extracting them could destroy one of the last untouched ecosystems on Earth. The island faces a massive decision. Stay tied to Denmark and its $640 million annual subsidy, or pursue independence and risk becoming the center of a geopolitical bidding war. One thing is clear: Greenland is no longer just a frozen island. It's the control tower of the Arctic and a vault of critical minerals. The real question isn't whether Greenland is worth $50 trillion. The question is, who will be the one trying to unlock it? Greenland represents the future of resource warfare. But if you want to see the country that has already weaponized its minerals to bring the global economy to its knees, you need to see how Indonesia took total control of the world's nickel supply.